Greetings, one and all. You're back with me again, SJ, all the way. It's been a minute. It's been a minute, I know. But what can I say? It's life. Life is it's just one of those things, man. It just kind of gets in the way sometimes. But hey, we move. I won't go into it too much. Let's just get straight into the video. And yeah, as you can see, we're about to get into a tier list. I thought this is one of those things that you see people do in the anime community a lot, like make tier lists or kind of rate tier lists and whatnot. So I thought, let me just do one real quick. I've not really done one of these before, so please pardon the any signs of hesitancy or confusion, because this is literally the first time I'm doing anything like a tier list, aside from like ones you do in your head. Okay, so it was a fantastic show. There's no doubt or question about that. Really fantastic show. Gave me Attack on Titan vibes, which there's nothing wrong with that at all. And Attack on Titan is a fantastic show. This gave me Attack on Titan vibes, so I don't see anything wrong with that whatsoever. It's a absolutely phenomenal first season. The animation was fantastic. I like the art style. The character designs are also really spot on. And yeah, just the storyline has just been really riveting and gripping. So just in case, just to be clear, this is an anime only review. I have not read any of the manga as of yet. So this is completely anime only. And one thing I liked about the series is that there are only a few kind of main characters in the first season, which makes it nice and easy to do a tier list, if you will. So I will get into it. So yeah, really great show. If I was to rate it, I'll probably give it an 8, maybe a 9 out of 10. That's how much I liked it. Definitely wasn't perfect. It did fall into some tropes here and there, such as the like Einstein brain 10-year-olds and 11-year-olds and stuff. So yeah, it's an anime trope that you see all the time, like super intelligent children. But they kind of get away with it in this show because, again, just the storytelling was just really interesting. So without further ado, I'm gonna get into it. A little warning right now, I've forgotten on some of their names. I watched the show recently, but not that recently. I think I finished it about maybe a month ago or so. But anyway, let's get into it, shall we? Okay, so the very first character I'm going to start off with is the person whose name I literally do not know at all. I don't actually think she's supposed to be in this list because this is a main character's. This is the tier list I've selected is like main characters only, so not too sure why she's here. I don't recall who she is. I mean, the face is familiar, but I'm not sure who she is. So I'm just gonna put her in the nothing against her, just putting her there because, you know, I don't know who she is. So anywho, one thing I do like about this show is that they are very intentional with the whole making sure that the main characters are the main characters and keeping the side characters as the side characters, because that way you get to develop your main characters right off the bat, and it just like makes more sense. You get a lot of shows that get carried away with developing side characters, but yeah, I don't know, I just feel like some anime kind of mess up their characters because they get confused about whether or not to develop someone or whether or not to keep someone like underdeveloped and whatnot. So yeah, there's a lot of confusion around that. All right, so the next character is Phil, and I've decided to put him in B. Now I think this might be possibly the most controversial pick simply because I know how popular he is amongst the community. He is super adorbs. So yeah, but for me personally, I feel like we didn't get to see too much of him. We didn't really get to see all we really are told during the show is that there is implied that Phil is extremely intelligent beyond his years, and the intelligence thing gets a bit tropey in the show, but not to the point where it makes you stop enjoying the show, which is good. And in Phil's case, they don't get carried away with it, because for the most part he's just a cute kid, right? And he helps the older kids in one or two aspects. And I like the character, which is why he's in B, which is I think B is good. So yeah, he's a cute kid. He's very inquisitive. He has his cute little moments. I'm just using the word cute lots and lots because that's pretty much what he is, like, so I mean, I think he's very possibly gonna be a big character in the future. Again, I've not read any of the manga for this, so this is anime only tier list. So yeah, I'm interested to see what happens to him. It's really, please no spoilers, guys, in the comments and whatnot. But yeah, really adorable kid. I hope he gets to they develop him more in the series. There were times where he came across as possibly the spy, which was really interesting. The show was just really good about the whole spy thing, I thought that was handled really well. So, but anyway, I'm staying on Phil for too long. Cute kid. I didn't see that much of him, so I'm just putting him in B. Okay, so again, we're going with another cute kid, if you will. So this is, I believe her name is Connie, and which is interesting because there's a Connie in Attack on Titan, which I mentioned earlier as well. Although that one is a male character, and yeah, I mean, there's not too much to say about her because, spoiler alert, in the very first episode, she, was killed, basically, for the sake of exposition, So, there's really not too much to say about this character. She was just a really tragic character, cute little girl. She thought she was getting adopted, and actually she was getting sacrificed, and then her little teddy rabbit thing ended up being like a Chekhov's gun, if you will. I think that's the correct cinematography term there. But yes, so Connie, I think C for Connie, I think that's pretty much fair for her. We really didn't see much of her at all. So that's what I've got to say. All right, so sister or mother Isabella, or whatever her title was, but Isabella, the first adult that we're gonna have on this list. Yeah, creepy character, very, very creepy character. She is I almost put her in B. I was this close to putting her in B because I'll go into it a bit more later, but essentially, for the most part, I felt she made some questionable decisions. I feel like she was her character is kind of, there are some eyebrows raised at some of her decision making, such as the way she was so carefree about the whole letting the kids carry on with the plan that they were trying to the plan that they were hatching, essentially. So, but I guess you would argue that, well, she let them carry on with the plan because she was pretty confident that she had everything under control, which for the most part she did. So I really don't have too many bad things to say about her character. Like, I like the character design is really cool because they make her like an attractive woman, with kind facial features, but then on the flip side, when they want to show her the scary side of her, they do that excellently. I mean, I remember the scene where she was homing in on a couple of the characters had found the secret library room or book room, and it was really creepy. She has loads of scary moments in this, and she's a pretty terrifying person. The voice actor's also really good for her. So yeah, her role as antagonist is a really good one, and she's putting it off pretty well. There is one thing that the anime does all the time, which sometimes kind of drives me crazy sometimes, because I don't know, but basically it's the whole tragic bad guy thing, right? Where a bad guy they're not as bad as you initially think they are, because of a tragic past, or because they are products of their surroundings and upbringings and stuff. So I get that, but sometimes I feel like anime does it all the time, like every single, like, when sometimes you just want to hate someone just because they're just a massive douchebag. Like, that's what I just want sometimes with some characters, and I feel like anime doesn't give that to me sometimes. But anyway, it's dragging on. Isabella, I'm putting her in A simply because I think they nailed it with her, scary tendencies. So yeah, guys, I think we are nearly at the halfway point with the characters. Is anyone gonna make S tier? I don't know. I think there's one or two contenders. We shall see. Okay, so Gilda was the the quiet girl, part of the family, kind of understated. Yeah, just there's really not much to her, I feel. She definitely played her part and earned her place as one of the more important characters. She helped with the crew, and she had a really touching a moment or two with some of the characters. Like she has a really nice relationship with the Don character. She has a really nice relationship with the Emma character as well. So I think overall she's actually quite a nice character, and I'd like to see how they choose to develop her. The more I keep on saying this word, develop, the more I'm getting a bit nervous, because I just have this feeling that there's no way everyone's gonna make it, you know what I mean? Like in season 2, that we might see some deaths and stuff. So yeah, we'll just have to keep our eyes peeled for that, which is pretty sad. But yeah, Gilda, I'm putting her in B. She's a nice character overall, and I think B is just about right. Okay, so the Don character, I've gone ahead and decided to put him in B. Now, initially, I would have put him in C, because at the beginning of the series, he was just kind of like this kind of bland, like just an airhead character. Like there was nothing redeeming or charming about him, kind of near the beginning, but then towards as the show progressed, you kind of see that he's actually a nice guy. He is actually quite lovable. He's got a great relationship, especially with the younger kids. And there was a moment, again, he's another one of the characters that I thought might have been one of the spies or traitors, if you will. So I thought that might have been him, but obviously it turned out to not be him. And actually, he was really important in making sure all the kids made it to safety, essentially. So Don I think he's actually he's a nice character. He has a nice relationship with pretty much everyone, and he's also very passionate as well. You can see, like, there were a few scenes with him where he got a bit melodramatic, but actually when I looked at it closely, I thought it's just that he's a really passionate person, so just as passionate as any other character in the show. So yeah, there are moments even when he's almost an A. For example, when he steals the key from Isabella. Was it Isabella or Crone? But anyway, he steals a key and he actually manages to make it to the basement with Gilda, and that part was freaking scary. Like, I'm not gonna lie, that part I was like, oh my days. I was like, someone's gonna die or something. Yeah, but yeah, they managed to make it out, and I just thought it was such a cool moment for him. So that's where he almost made it to A. But again, I think all things considered is a B. So yeah, B starting to get a bit stacked, so that we'll need to. Everyone else is pretty lonely in the other tiers. Let's move on. Boom. I don't know if this is a controversial choice or not, because it might prove to be. But for me, Sister Crone is the best character in the show. I just thought she had everything. Like, she had comedic moments, she had heart-wrenching moments, she had touching moments, she had scary moments. She had like moments of where where you were intrigued by her character, like, oh, that's a interesting decision she made there, and it's like, wow. And I was just so gutted with like what happened to her towards as the series progressed. I was so gutted because I thought she was such a cool character, and the whole, the kind of the what they were doing with Crone, the way she was treating the doll, and then it shows you how she maltreated the doll, in contrast to how she treated the doll when she was a youngster. And it just kind of shows how she's basically slowly lost her mind in this kind of crazy insanity world where you're stuck in this way of life under this weird subjugation of these mysterious creatures. So yeah, I won't go into that too much, but I just thought she was an amazing character. The animation they did with this woman was really spot on, and some of my favorite moments from the whole series is when she plays tag or it, or whatever your country calls it. When she plays tag with the kids, I thought that was so hilarious, and it was such an interesting moment of the episode, because they basically show how calculative she is, how like physically imposing she is. It shows you like her determination to like achieve her goals, as far as trying to oust Isabella as the woman of the house, if you will. So yeah, she was serious about it, and I just really liked her. And then for me, listen guys, I'm a black guy. I'm not voting for her just because she's black, but historically, anime has not been the best when it comes to the animation of black characters. So Sister Crone, I would say, is fantastic animation. They've actually got the hair is there. You've got proper lips, not just the frigging like Play-Doh like friggin' Mr. Popo lips that you see in some anime, which is really, just, I don't even know what you call it. I don't see Mr. Popo is not black, like, for starters, but I just feel like Crone, the way they've animated her and drawn her, that is one of the best like black characters in terms of animation and in terms of like character as well. Like, she's a really good character. She reminds me of Canary from Hunter x Hunter, because they have similar features and similar hair as well. So I just gotta say, it's really a job well done by the animator with this character, because not just her adult form, but also her child form as well. It was just I was really taken aback by her in it, and I think she's a S tier character for sure. Yeah, all right, so on to the main three. Our main trio are Harry, Ron, and Hermione. I've heard people make those. I've heard those comparisons before. And I think it's quite apt, to be fair, in a roundabout, different kind of way. But yeah, where are we gonna have them? Okay, guys. Ray is a B. I'm sorry. This is probably a bit of a controversial one, but I don't know, guys. I'm sorry. I just feel like they made him a bit. They just made him edgy. They just made him really edgy. He had some really great moments. I'm actually a bit torn now. In theory, he's an A, but I think there are just a few things that were just kind of like In theory, he's an A, and I really do want to put him there, but again, I'm trying to be strict with this list, and I just feel that he was just a bit too edgy. And I know people get accused, a lot of characters in like the anime community get accused of being edgy, but as far as Ray's concerned, he pretty much is. I mean, they gave him the Sasuke haircut. They made him like, Dawa and grumpy, and I don't know, man. It's it hurts me to do it. It's he's basically between the two. Okay, he's a B and a half or an A minus, whatever you want to call it. He really is a good character, and I liked a lot of his moments. Even though I thought the moment where he was gonna kind of like set himself ablaze, that was extremely ballsy. But at the same time, I thought, it wasn't a good plan, and obviously it didn't go ahead. But it was kind of like, why was he so hasty to come to that conclusion? And there were just some things that were just kind of like, really, like him keeping the secret for that many years, and then building stuff. Like, again, the super intelligent kids, it's not too much of a problem, but there were some times where I was struggling to suspend my disbelief, essentially, and that's kind of what was happening with Ray at times, because it was just like, wait, how intelligent are you? Like, because he would make like crazy devices and everything. So, but anyway, look, guys, he is basically a B plus. He's almost there for me, but I just feel like they just made him a little bit tropey, and I didn't like his decision making about the whole self-immolation thing. So, yeah, B. Okay, I've put Emma in A. Okay, now the reason why I've put Emma in A is because I feel like they've actually done something a little bit different with a female. First of all, they've kind of made her the de facto protagonist, if you will, because she basically takes over once Norman no longer is around, right? And I think she does a really good job. She's a charming character. Again, she's another one who has a fantastic relationship with everyone in the house. She's known for being bubbly. So again, she's similar to Ray in that she was almost something else. She was almost going to be a B, because there are some tropes there. For example, um, never say die, which is obviously adorable and commendable. But when Ray and Norman were trying to think seriously about the potential reality of losing people, she was pretty much adamant in a very, you know, boneheaded anime shonen character way. She was like hell to the nah, and you know you gotta respect it because at the end of the day, it is a good, it is the better um, attitude to have. But sometimes it can just be a bit tropey. But anyway, I don't want to digress. She's a great character because shonen anime get female characters, they do them dirty a lot. You know, usually, well, not usually, but a number of times, they're either airheads or they're just, you know, eye candy. Or, you know, in this show there's no eye candy because it's very much like a mystery, you know, an action shonen, if you will. So there's not too much of there's no fan service, thank God. I'm not crazy about fan service, guys, but anyway, yeah, so yeah, I mean, I don't want to go around in circles. I mean, crazy hairstyle, you know, crazy anime hair. Is that a bonus point? No, but you know, I just thought she was just really a well designed character in terms of not. I'm talking about like in terms of not just the physical design, but her actual character design, as in the content of her character. And you know, never say die. That kind of thing can be annoying, but for the most part, it's a positive, and she did, you know, follow through with the plan and everything. So the main reason she's an A is because she is not following any of the silly tropes for female characters usually, and they've actually made her like an important part of the team, if not the most important, because she was kind of like that bridge between Ray and Norman, if you will. Like, she would play the good cop or the bad cop depending on the situation. So yeah, really cool character. And finally, Norman also is an A. Okay, so even though he is very tropey, he's extremely tropey because he's got the whole super mega intelligent, super smart walking computer, supercomputer kind of thing vibe going on. I mean, the guy is just like, he's just extremely trophy. He's like a Shikamaru, or a light Yagami, or Armin kind of character. So, you know, all those are like typical brain box characters, right? And the thing is, it's just so overdone, but you just also at the same time you hate to love it as well, or love to hate it, because it just works. Like, honestly, some of the things that he does in the show are quite mind-blowing, especially the very last like when they basically do the exposition of how his plan worked and everything he had to work out. And you know, and Emma explains everything at the end. It was just pretty mind-blowing, you know. And I know some of you might be saying like, oh, I figured it out or whatever, but I didn't. Okay, so, you know, for me, I just thought it was a pretty amazing reveal, like plan reveal, and yeah, it just made me so excited for the next season. So I need to look into the naming convention for that character, because, well, not the naming convention, but what gave the author or the creator the idea for the name, because in terms of character, he's definitely very plain, very normal, like his name. And he's got like plain hair and everything. He just looks as plain as they come, right? But I just thought he was. But then obviously, they gave him that super amazing brilliance of the mind kind of thing, and they also made an interesting decision with the whole him liking or loving Emma, that whole thing, and I thought that was quite interesting. At the same time, it's not that interesting because it's anime, and there has to be some kind of like love interest somewhere. Usually in these kind of showing anime, there's a love interest somewhere, right? So, but I still thought it was interesting because, you know, they didn't really have time in the series or in the season to dig into it. So who knows where that will go, because I'm pretty sure the guy's not dead, right? So we shall see. But I'm putting him in A simply because even though he's extremely tropey, the way he thinks and the plans he's put together have really been pretty damn amazing. So yeah, there we have it. So guys, that was my quick tier list for the amazing The Promised Neverland. Do check out the show, and guys, what do you guys think of the tier list? What do you guys think of the characters? Please let me know in the comments below. And yeah, feel free as well to let me know what you're watching. Give me recommendations for stuff, because sometimes I have times where I've kind of just power through loads of anime at once, and then I have these other moments where it's just kind of nothing's really going on. I'm not really watching any anime in particular. So until next time, guys, later.